Okay, submission to peer review and then submission of the final draft is what I want to focus on for this screencast, which hopefully isn't too long for you. So some of this is going to sound very familiar to those of you that had me last semester, but a refresher really can't hurt. So you're writing your Essay 1 rough draft, your first draft, and once you reach a full page of it, or when you're ready to share it, 600 plus words or a full page, and please format correctly, use MLA or APA, I really don't care as long as you're consistent. But once your Essay 1 rough draft is in sort of shape where you want some feedback from a peer, well, then it's time to do a couple more things. You add some questions to your draft, and hopefully they're open-ended questions, not yes-no questions or overly opinionated questions, let's say. So once you ask those questions like, does this make sense, or am I being argumentative, that sort of thing, not a bad idea. Was that a new feature? Look at that, brand new feature on Google Drive. How cool. You just highlight something, you can make a comment. That's awesome. That's what you should do with your questions themselves. Hopefully you have that functionality on your Google Docs. So what you do then is you post your rough draft. You'll fetch it correctly, and by fetch it correctly, let me go up here. I'll have my arrow down. You go to the share button, click on anyone with link. Okay, you can click on anyone can comment. You copy the link. Now it's copied to the clipboard, and you put your name, your email address, and your link to your Essay 1 rough draft here. If you want to be a little more privatized with your settings, that's fine. You can make the person below you request access, or you can wait until the person below you, post theirs, and then you can, give them share privileges. Okay, but as long as the correct document is posted. Now, people are not as good at this as they think. So you look at, this is just from the rough, the rough draft of the research project from last semester. You have to make sure that this link works. So double check it before you move along. So seeing some familiar names in here. You have to make sure that if you click on the link that it opens, because to be honest, on this assignment, it's very simple. Post a spreadsheet assignment. So many of you did not give anyone access to your spreadsheets, and so no one can look at them, including me. Very frustrating. You don't want that to happen, so please follow the directions. So you post, and then you look at the name that is posted above your name, and that is the person whose rough draft you're going to read. The person who posts after you, who posts below you, is going to read your rough draft. So, if you and like two other people want to sort of conspire to make sure that you look at their rough drafts, I don't care about that. That's fine. Just make sure that you all sort of post, around the same time. If you want, you just want to kind of throw caution to the wind and see, what comes about. I think that's kind of a cool idea too. So post your name to your email to this sheet. It's empty now because I'm talking about it now, and you haven't quite written your rough drafts yet, but it will look like this. So, Sophie and let's look here. Nicholas posted first, as Nicholas is wont to do, and then he has to wait until the second person posts, Sophie. So Sophie, if you post second, if you're number 2 here, you're kind of unique because Nicholas, I don't want Nicholas to have to wait all the way until Haley or whoever the last person is to post, because then Nicholas is waiting days and days and days to do his peer review, and or at least hours and hours, and I don't want that to happen. So Nicholas would read Sophie's, okay, and Sophie would read Nicholas's, and then Ronnie, posting third, would also look at Sophie's. So Sophie's going to get sort of double feedback. No such thing as too much feedback, right? So the rest of us, though, are going to go in order. So Ronnie's going to post, and then once Kayla posts, Kayla can read Ronnie's. Chris can read Kayla's. Andrew can read Chris's. Olivia reads Andrew's. Paige reads Olivia's. Savannah reads Paige's. Hopefully you get a kind of a knack for what it takes. And as a result, you will do peer review. So let's just talk briefly about that. There's an assignment in here. Let's see where to go. Follow these guidelines. Where is it? Okay, here we go. Because this has to be posted by Thursday, February 4th. Now that's a ways away from now. I'm giving you plenty of time to conduct your observation, take your notes, make sense of it. I'm going to do the same thing for the Digital Sabbath assignment because you'll all be doing the Digital Sabbath at various times. And I don't want you to have to wait to do the peer review. Okay? So get started on this as soon as you can. If you have any questions about this, of course, let me know. But down here, so then, so by 9 a.m. Thursday. So it's kind of a quick turnaround for peer review, but that's okay. It's not going to affect many of you. It's just those of you who are waiting until the very last moment. You have a 24-hour turnaround, which is, I guess, kind of your fault. You know, I don't want to hear it, I guess. So you have these guidelines for peer review that I will talk about for a moment. Let me get them nice and big so they show up. Let's see. All right. Let's see. As the reader of the rough draft, you're expected to make at least 6 marginal comments on the rough draft. And again, this is a new thing. This is brand new to me. You can also right-click and go to comment. You can also go to insert, comment. You can also go, you can highlight something and you go highlight, Control-Alt-M will also create the comment, Control-Alt-M. So, you know, you need to create at least 6 comments. 2 of these may focus on grammar or word choice, but please don't get hung up on this. And you know, those of you that know me know that I care a lot less about grammar than many writing teachers, let's say. And I think I'm right. 2 of the writer's questions must be answered as well. So the writer asks questions, you need to answer at least 2 of them. One of them you can kind of disregard if it's not a question that you feel qualified to answer or you're interested in answering. You don't have to, but feel free to answer all 3. So there's, you know, sort of 4 comments are sort of enforced in a very sort of specific way. And then the other 2 are sort of up to you. But what you know, the big things I'm looking for are, of course, the effectiveness of your intro, the clarity and focus of your thesis statement, you know, the bigger macro issues, you know, what are called higher order issues or higher level issues, depends on which composition theorists you ask. But I'm interested in big picture stuff a lot more than I am rinky-dink grammar, this needs to be a comma type things. I will certainly expect your final drafts to be free of error, but I also expect you to have enough practice at writing that you can identify your own grammatical issues and typos. So there's those 6 comments, and they need to focus on large level issues, although I feel like I'm being more than generous by saying 2 of them can focus on smaller, I was going to say dumb, but yes, dumb little things like grammar and word choice. Don't rewrite people's essays for them. Don't say, oh, well, you should say this. You know, everybody's got their own style. I mean, think about how you're dressed right now. You have a personal style that it comes out in how you're dressed. Everybody has a personal style when they write as well to express themselves. Your clothes express yourself, so does your writing style. So don't spend too much time rewriting people's things in sort of your own words. That's not what responsible peer review does. Then let's see at the end here. Yeah, at least one comment must include a link from an outside website, and some of you actually find other websites that I steal from all the time. So find a link to, you know, an article or anything that's sort of relevant to the rough draft that you're reading, and then a 150-word note to the writer at the end. And it can be, I get this question a lot. Maybe I'll put that right here. 150-word note. This can appear as a comment at the end of the writer's rough draft. All right, editing in action. How exciting for you. And then, you know, your overall impression, suggestions for improvement. What's missing is always a really important question for rough drafts. What's missing? What you'd like to read more about, and your attitude in general should be honest, productive, respectful, and detailed. Easier said than done, hopefully. And I'll go through them. I have to grade your peer review. Your peer review is a graded activity, so do not resolve any comments. All right, so you just create a brand new essay for your final draft, and you can just make a copy of your rough draft. Not that difficult. Okay, you're graded on your timely and thorough review. I'm part of the document too, so don't write anything you don't want me seeing. If any drama comes up, I need people to tattle on other people, just like I have to tell my daughter that it's okay to be a tattletale with my son when he's, you know, threatening to put my laptop in the bathtub. Sometimes, you know, adults, authority figures need to know what's going on sort of beneath them. As the writer, you are free to consider all feedback, and you're free to ignore all feedback. It's your own writing. I want you to own it. And of course, I'm available through email, etc., to answer any and all questions. Okay, so follow those steps. And this is optional. You can ask me for preliminary feedback. You have to do so in a way that makes your rough draft land in my inbox. I'm not going to click through and go through all the Google Drive. I'll show you how big my Google Drive's looking. Okay, look at all of you. All right, here, I can close it out for effect. Okay, look at all of you. So I'm not going to go through each folder and make sure that I can, making sure that you're all keeping up with the work. That's on you. This is a college class and it's an online class. That said, however, I will be more than happy to give you what's called preliminary feedback. I will look at your rough drafts as well, give you my impressions of them. I would love to look at your work before I have to grade it. I don't have to, but I would be happy to. It's sort of above and beyond stuff for me. Go ahead and send me that request if you want. I'll look through it. If they just come into my email, it just streamlines my work a little bit. And in the spirit of streamlining my work, your final draft will also do accomplish some measure of good in that regard as well. So by 9 a.m. February 8th, is that a Monday? I believe it's a Monday. Yep, Monday, February 8th. Just making sure. And I shut this sheet down. You will create a new document. All right. You will call it Essay 1 Final Draft or something similar. And once it's ready to be posted, you will put it in this Grade My Observation Essay spreadsheet. And all you need is your name and your link. And basically what I do is I put this link, or I put this tab up on every computer that I'm on, all 4 of them, throughout the week. And I keep that tab open and I check it anytime I have time to grade essays. So as soon as your essay gets posted to this Grade My Observation Essay, that means you're telling me, go ahead. It's called Grade My Observation. You want me to grade it, and I will. I'll put feedback on it, and I'll discuss the criteria that I'm applying that helps me to justify explaining the grade that you've earned. And so anyway, instead of me just getting 150 final drafts at once, a lot of you are going to be done well before this February 8th due date. And so post it, move on to the digital Sabbath. Otherwise, you're going to be overlapping the assignments in ways that most students, some students can't handle. And I'd rather you be a student that is on top of your work. So many of you are talking about getting ahead and staying ahead in this class, and I want to expedite that process as much as possible. Okay, submit early if you'd like. Who put that exclamation point there? Had to have been me, but I'm not happy about it. If it doesn't appear on the spreadsheet by 9 a.m. February 8th, regardless of excuse, you don't pass, I don't grade it. This is more than enough time to get it done. What else can I tell you? I think that is it. The big thing is make sure that you don't resolve any comments on your rough draft, and make sure that your final draft is completely free of comments. It should be a blank, clean, brand new final draft for me. It's really easy to make a copy of your rough draft and work on it from there. You can also, I would strongly suggest writing the whole thing over, printing out a hard copy and typing it all up again, because you catch a lot more errors and you get a better sense of your essay's flow, and sort of lots of good things happen when you retype your entire essay. Am I requiring that? No, I'm not requiring that. I'm merely heavily encouraging it, let's say. So that's peer review. I expect it to be a little bit clunky for this first time out, especially those of you that don't know me. Those of you that do know me, I expect a smooth process. And also those of you that know me, I hope that you'll be considerate in how you give feedback to students that maybe weren't in our class last semester, because we get pretty honest. And that's kind of a message maybe to the students that didn't have me last semester either, is that true progress in writing as individuals often has to come from honest feedback, let's say. And sometimes that honesty is dressed up in nice ways, and sometimes it's dressed up in less nice ways, let's say. And so I hope everyone is ready to be sort of emotionally mature and give and receive feedback that is ultimately productive. Okay? So please, once again, a very important part of this is let me know if any drama comes up. Please email me if there's anything I need to know or any help I can give to you, because I have access to all these documents and all these folders because you've all shared your folders with me, and I am a co-owner of all your folders. So if you do have issues getting access or anything, just shoot me an email and I will get you access as soon as I'm able. Remember, I teach Tuesday and Thursday face-to-face quite a bit, so if those requests come in on Tuesdays or Thursdays, there's going to be a lag, and that's going to certainly come to bear on this Thursday, I bet, between this Thursday, February 4th and the Friday morning. But we will do our best, as always. And on that positive note, I will tell you, take care. Send me your questions.